And we are on filmsgonewild.com. My name is John Wildman. We're going to talk about the film hold on a second, My Digital Nomad. Make sure I get your title right. We have director Kata Oláh. The film is screening at SEEfest LA, the Southeast European Film Festival. Kata, we always start our segments here by having our filmmaker introduce our audience to the film. They have not seen it as yet, so tell us about My Digital Nomad.
Well, My Digital Nomad is a very personal, intimate documentary film. I am a documentary filmmaker, and my children got used to it, and I'm always thinking about whatever happens around us as a topic for a next documentary film. So when my eldest daughter told me like 4 years ago that she's gonna quit her job because she wants to be a digital nomad, as a normal mother, I was like, oh my God, you have a good job, a stable life, why? So because I never heard about digital nomad lifestyle and I started to ask around, I thought, wow, that's a great topic. I mean, it's so interesting. And so first I thought I'm going to make a movie about the digital nomad lifestyle, which is in the film. But on the way of making the film, I realized that I am very much interested also as a mother, you know, where is my limits? Where are the limits of mothers, of worriness, and trying to tell our kids all the time, you know, in my time, you know, I think that would be better. And I realized while I was making the film, and I had so many preconceptions and, you know, ideas about the lifestyle, I thought it was so selfish and, you know, all the negative things. So at a certain point, I realized that it's a journey of understanding for me just as much as a journey for my daughter.
I, I was delighted watching conversations with you and your daughter because those conversations are so familiar to every single person that has a mom. Or a mom that has a daughter. Even to the point of you going, what? So when did you become a vegetarian? When did that happen? And and those moments, because those moments are so honest, and all of us have gone through those conversations with our parents, with our moms, and that I just love that. And you also interweave it with a honest exploration of something that is, I think, a fairly recent. It seems that you discovered that, a fairly recent application of a generation going, something, I don't need to have these things that were signposts of what you were told, whether it be married, whether it be having kids, whether it be having a car, whether, an apartment. So I would love to talk for you to talk for a moment about your discovery process in that way in making this film.
Well, and now look at our life now. I mean, everything which was discovered and new for me, at certain points, some parts we live in it because the COVID, because the how life changed around us, and even if I would finish now at this moment, it would include more of this insecurity or on our future. And that was the base of the idea of the digital nomad. It's so much insecure. I mean, this life is so different from our life in a way of, like, we knew we could plan. And that's the big word, what I'm using, I think, in the film also, that, planning is my key for life. And I have to forget it more and more because you cannot plan. Life changes so much. And I can absolutely understand that they don't want to belong to a society, because none of the society, none of the political system, if we are free-minded people, we cannot agree. We cannot just fit in.
Right. The other thing, I really love to hear your viewpoint on this, which is, as opposed to oftentimes, when you're this personal with a film, when so much of it is you, and and you are literally within the film, that you can hit the editing bay, you can hit the editing process, and looking at that footage again, realize things that you didn't even realize during the conversations. And so I would love for you to touch on that, on what you discovered once you were actually editing the film together, and and what you found that you weren't thinking about while the conversations were happening in the moment.
It's absolutely like that. It's with every film, of course, and that's why I mean, the way I'm working, it's always this documentary films always takes years. So the way I'm editing is that I always start to edit like after the first few days of shooting, because exactly what you say, that I consider myself a very honest person. I cannot do any other way. And even if I do have a concept, even if I do have like a pre message that I want to, send with my film, there is a point that I always lean back and I always say, what the story, what the subject tells me. And in this case, it was me. I have to be more in the film, and I have to be more honest, and I have to more understand her. And that was really what was happening, that while I was editing and I was watching, and I had to find the right balance of what is the balance of putting your personal life into screen, have others to watch your personal life, not to be too much pushing it outside, and also trying to, of course, in taking into consideration my daughter's need, and not to talk about her too much out. But that was the main process for me, that I did understand, like I was telling too much what I think is the proper way of living, and I didn't listen enough. And I asked too many questions, which was always annoying. And I really, honestly, I think I learned a lesson. Don't ask too many questions.
Well, I mean, but to be fair, you're a mom, so we expect that. We expect that from our moms. You actually segue perfectly into my final question, which, while I was watching the film, I thought about this in a jokey kind of way, but it's a genuine question. And that is, do your other two kids, do they get a film too? Or are they happy not to have this happen to them?
Well, as I told you, we are a very crazy family. My husband is the DOP, he's the cinematographer, so he's behind the camera all the time. And my other daughter, I have 3 children, and my other daughter, she's my producer. So she's my partner. So she is all the way all with me. And my son is only 18, and he is a filmmaker too. He already makes films. So it's in the family. And I think they would be happy if I wouldn't make a film about them. So maybe it will be the other way around one day. Who knows?
It's a filmmaking family. This is awesome. Well, again, the film is My Digital Nomad. We've been talking to Kata Oláh about the film out of Hungary. It's a wonderful documentary. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.